What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So today we're talking daily habits, basically the stuff that I do every single day when I log on to WoW. And I've made a couple of videos exactly like this one, but what I do daily on WoW changes for the most part all the time. I like to do that to mix things up so I don't get bored of the same stuff. And of course, items that I need at any given time changes based on what I already got. So let's say that I need to obtain a certain battle pet from a camp to rare spawn. Once I do have a couple of them, I don't need to do that daily anymore. I can move over to something else. There is, however, a couple of things that I have to do regardless of what I need to put up on the auction house. So we're going to talk about all of that in today's video, what I'm currently doing. Before we do so though, I want to say big thank you for all the support on the 0 to 10 million gold guide. It's been out for almost 4 years now, so the people that bought it almost 4 years ago are still getting the updates today. So if you're one of the people that have supported me by picking up the gold guide, I want to say a big thank you, and just know that I am currently working on the War Within version of the gold guide. And everyone that has already bought the gold guide will, of course, as always, gets the updated version sent automatically for free to your email. And if you don't have it already and you want to see more about it, you can check out the link down below in the description. And right now, you can get it for 50% off using the discount code STUDENT. So make sure to check it out, and just know that every single future update done to the gold guide, you will get it for free, sent automatically to your email. Now, the first thing that I do when I log on is I like to log on to my material bank. This is going to be way more convenient once the War Within pre-patch comes out and we get access to the Warband bank. But I have a separate bank tune for materials that I like to store everything on. And there's a couple of, I favorized all the materials that I would typically farm. So I like to log on every single day on this bank tune, not necessarily to sell stuff, but just to check the favorized items to see what the prices are like. Can I do any flips on the auction house? Is there something that I notice I could easily flip and make a profit on? Is there any of these materials that has a really good price so I can sell it? Because I do all of these farms frequently, but I never sell anything unless the price is good. So maybe I farmed a bunch of wild whites or primal fire, but I'm just holding it on my bank until they go up in value to the point where I know I can get a respectable gold per hour. So that's like the first thing that I do, is I just check the different prices. Maybe there's something that I want to farm as well if I don't have a lot of it on the auction house, but the price right now is absolutely insane. But yeah, I do. I daffle a lot with materials. I buy it low and sell it high. I farm it and then I hold on to it to whenever the price is good. After that, I log on to my white mogs tune, which is basically gray and white transmog items, to see what I've sold and if there's anything I need to recraft. I do the same thing on my main bank tune that holds everything besides white and gray items. So what I do is I first go just to check out the sales to see if I sold anything that's farmed, like a specific farmed the transmog item or items. And after I've done that, I go on the auction house, I check and see when my auctions expire so I can keep that under control. And then, of course, I make sure to log on to my crafters to see if to recraft stuff that I've sold. So I could typically log on to, let's say, my blacksmithing tune. And using TSM, it is very easy. Absolutely love TSM to see what I need to recraft. So a lot of the times I don't check through the entire mailbox to see what I've sold. And if there's anything that I should really jump on and recraft fast, I just go on to my one of my crafting tunes, and then I click restock groups. And then I can restock all my crafted items. And if it's on this list, it means that I don't have it on the auction house, so I've sold it and I need to recraft it. So I can see that I sold a lot of dark iron items, for instance. Someone probably bought the entire set, so I should go and craft that. And then I can take a look on my engineering tune that I've sold some goggles. Leatherworking tune is there's also a couple of items that I've sold, and a tailoring tune as well, missing a couple of items. So I can see If I notice any of these names being like super fast selling, I will go instantly and recraft it. Some days I'm very lazy because I don't need gold. I just think it's fun to make gold. And if there's not that many items on these lists, I might even wait until the next day or a couple of days before I recraft. But I always like to go and check out and see if I've sold anything of interest. Now, once I've done that and I've checked like all my bank tunes and see if there's anything I really should restock, that's when I start to do my the daily habits that changes like all the time. Like it constantly changes. So for instance, right now, one of the things that I do is I camp for a couple of weapons to put up on the auction house that I've had a lot of luck with selling. They're a unique appearance and they sell quite fast. So right now I'm in Ashara on one of my tunes, on my Paladin. Sometimes I also put multiple tunes at the location just to have an increased chance of getting the item that I'm actually after. But on this tune right here, I'm looking for this guy. I recently killed him, so that's why he's not up. But this guy can drop a weapon. This bad boy right here, the John Who's Mercy, which is quite good. It does share an appearance with a green item, but it doesn't really matter. It's a really good item, this one right here, and it's been selling well for me. And right now, I have none up on the auction house. So I'm going to camp my Paladin at this location until I get it. If I don't get it soon, I will also move a couple of other alts down here. And having one is not enough. I always need to have a backup when I do this, because if you just have one on the auction house and that sells, you're all of a sudden in a rush to get another one on the auction house because you don't want to miss a potential sale. So I like to get at least two of an item before I then potentially move that tune over to something else. Another thing that I've been doing a lot lately, that I tend to do all the time, but it depends on how many I have up on the auction house, and that is the Sealed Tomb of Lost Legion, which is a Warlock only farm. It's super straightforward. You need to be in a Warlock, and then you run around on the Isle of Thunder in Pandaria, and you kill these rare elites. You do that because they have a chance at giving you the Sealed Tomb of Lost Legion, which is basically a Warlock quest item that once you complete the quest chain, your spells will be green. This is something that we've done for a decade now, and it's nothing new. The price is not insane. I've been selling them lately for like 9,000 gold, but they sell extremely fast, and they are relatively easy to obtain. But I always do it constantly, so I have at least like 5, 6 on the auction house. Now I'm down to 2 of them on the auction house, which I don't think is enough, because like those 2 might sell, and tomorrow I might wake up and they've both been sold and I have none up on the auction house. So I like to do this until I have at least like 5, 6, and I try my best to never fall under 2 of them. So this Warlock never does anything else. He just does Isle of Thunder. I never move him to other locations. Now, once I've done that, and I typically, if I have to, like right now, I do it a couple times a day on this tune. Then I log on to my tune, which is ironically called Pitchforks. It's just a Death Knight that I made at level 1, because the only thing that this guy is doing is literally farming in the Death Knight starting zone. So just equip him with some heirlooms and he's good to go for farming. I made a video about this a long time ago when we could first transmog white and gray items, because the main objective of this guy is just literally standing right here on this path. There's a lot of different locations you can stand on that's like considered quite good, and you're standing here because there's like a wave of mobs, humanoid mobs, that comes running at you. Once you start killing the mobs, you will see more spawns, and sometimes you have like 4 of them running towards you, and you're killing them because you want to get this bad boy right here, the Rusted Pitchfork. Now, the sad thing is, I did get a bunch of these, and I didn't pay attention to the price, which honestly, I don't really care about the price when I sell transmog. Like, I would rather get a bunch of sales and sell them low than struggle with getting sales. So I usually just undercut my competition. I say undercut, I never undercut. Let me be very clear about that. I always match the lowest price. but I will match the lowest price on collectibles regardless. Like, sure, I'll make a little bit less gold on the sale, but I'm not going to budge, and I would much rather just go as low as people want to go and potentially just push them off the realm as they realize that shit, the competition on this realm is really bad and I'm better off somewhere else. So yeah, doing it for the rusted pitchfork, and instead of having 2 of these, I like to have at least 3 of them because they are doing really well. It's a really cool appearance. It also shares with the not the rusted pitchfork, but the usual pitchfork. But they do so well, and yeah, it is very common that someone will buy all of them and just reset the market on them. Like some dude bought all of mine, and they got a reset up to 25k, which makes sense. I've sold these for like 15, 20, 25,000 gold many times. So usually you're just as likely selling it for 2,000 gold as you are selling it for 20,000 gold. Like, it's usually never about the price. You just got to be lucky enough to have the latest posted auction when someone is around wanting that item. Now, besides from that, I also got my Shardi farm. You just got to make, similar to the Death Knight scenario, you just got to make yourself like a blood elf. Doesn't really matter what class he is. The only thing you will be doing is killing these tiger cubs, because they can drop this set called Shardi. The Shardi is a gray set. A lot of the pieces do have a unique appearance, and they sell quite well. Really expensive. It's one of those hidden gems that not a lot of people are doing. Did make a video on it, and they kind of got screwed over in terms of value. But then people forget about stuff like this so easily. So lately, I haven't had a lot of competition. This is also something that I do on a couple of different realms, because it's just so easy to set up. You just got to make yourself a Death Knight. And the lower levels are more efficiently, because you can just, on this priest, for instance, I could do 1 Shadow Word Pain, and that would be enough to kill the mob. So on my other realms, I've picked a mage over a priest, but they both work really well. So one example are these that I just picked up right now, the Shoddy Chain Gloves. The entire set is male. They are unique, and they have a really good sell rate considering their value, and they tend to perform really well. So after I've logged on to this tune and restocked whatever I missed, like, it's quite fast. So I've been doing this now lately because I just do like 5-10 minutes, get a couple of pieces, send it over, and then I log over to the next thing. But if you haven't done this farm before, you should definitely do it until you have 1 of each of the Shardi sets on your Blood Elf. After I've done that, then I go over to the last thing that I'm camping at the moment, which are these 2 characters in Eastern Plaguelands. This is one of those items similar to the Rusted Pitchfork, where the value has gone down on my realm lately, but it's a very fast sale. It used to be like a 500,000 to 1 million gold weapon, but then patch 10.17 came around and it just drastically increased the drop chance for some weird reason. But it's in this area right here, the Fungal Veil, and you want to kill this guy, Lord Darksight, because he's dropping the Ta Kiertan Songblade. Now, that used to be, as I said, extremely rare. It was in the game, but you needed to use Chromie time in order to get it. Now they're sitting at 20,000 gold. I sold my last 4 for an average price of 15,000 gold, but the sell rate is so goddamn good. So I try my best to always keep these up on the auction house. Lately, I've been struggling at doing so, though. I've been really unlucky on the kill. But yeah, I have 1 tune with War Mod on and 1 tune with War Mod off on these. And that's pretty much what I'm doing at the moment. Like, I'm going to upscale this and change out some of the farms. But right now, I've been super busy making videos now that I'm like, I call it fully back to retail. I've been daffling a lot with SOD, and then the pre-patch for Cataclassic, and then of course Cataclassic released and so on. But now that I really want to stock up my auction house before the War Within pre-patch, I really got to get going on a lot of things. I have a giant to-do list. So that's pretty much what I'm doing now. Now, if you guys enjoy these videos, please let me know, because as I've been saying, like, this stuff changes all the time. So in a month, it's going to be completely different. And if this is something that you guys find interesting, I don't mind doing like update videos on what I'm currently doing day to day. So let me know. Don't forget to check out the complete gold guide, the 0 to 10 million gold. and use, of course, the discount code STUDENT for 50% off. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if this is the type of content that you're interested in, and I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, have a good one. Bye bye.